This video is exactly what you think it is, but due to YouTube's guidelines, I gotta have a little filler during the first minute or so of the video, so I won't blame you if you want to skip ahead to the good stuff. If not, listen to my reasoning. I've been enjoying that Manco grass for a few years now, but I've been playing TF2 for much longer. I love this game's maps. It's a treasure trove of unique atmospheres and feelings, and there's something about video games that came out from the period of 1995 to 2010 that have that certain vibe to them. Early 3D games on PC, PS1, and N64, and really the entire console generation from Dreamcast all the way to the Xbox 360, they have that certain feel to them. It's kind of hard to describe. I hate using the word cozy, but maybe comfy is more fitting. When I was a kid, there were lots of times where I would boot up a game just to hang out in specific areas that I really liked. Whether it was the music, the atmosphere, or maybe just that childlike sense of wonder. In any case, Team Fortress 2 has those same vibes in spades. There's loads of those little places in TF2 where I think it would be cool just to hang out or sit around. How many of you have thought the same? I mean, who doesn't want to visit the Ammo Pack Shack on Dust Bowl 2? Oh, and by the way, it's been over a minute so I can get to the point now. I smoke a lot of dope, because when you're working a full-time teaching job and a part-time service job, you need a little something to knock the edge off. Real potheads will know that where you smoke is almost as important as what you smoke. You could be ripping from the finest bong, but if the mood just isn't right, it throws off the vibes of the entire session. Sitting on the porch or in your backyard is usually pretty comfy, you know, watching the sunset, looking at birds, or looking down in your balcony if you live in an apartment. There are many ways to enjoy the smoke, as long as you aren't smoking indoors, because that's just gross. There are many ways to make or break the mood, and I want you all to be honest with me. How many times have you played a video game and thought to yourself while playing, damn, smoking there would go crazy? That's what this video is all about, but for Team Fortress 2. So how am I going to quantify this list? It's really hard to describe vibes alone. So I'll be ranking these maps based on comfortability, safety, location, and the general mood of the map itself. If you don't see your favorite spot, or have any locations that I might have overlooked, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to increase your immersion, then get together in a circle and smoke along with me. Number 10, I'm going to start with what might be a hidden gem. I'm going to say Banana Bay, the entire map. And I know what you're thinking. I just talked about the location and safety, and yeah, there's the payload race, you got the bomb cart. Think about it, man. You're smoking, you got the sun on your face, you can feel a nice cool breeze, you hear the sound of the waves coming in, and then, hey, maybe you sit out there the whole night, even after the mission is over, and you get to watch the marine layer come in, and you bundle up with a jacket, maybe get to start a fire right there on the beach. It could be pretty freaking cool, but it's not my ideal spot. We're gonna keep going. That's why it's only number 10. Number 9, I'm gonna go with the balcony area on CP Well. While I do think that smoking inside is gross, I think when you're in such a big building like this, it's fine. I've always really liked this area ever since I first played the game. The 5CP version, where it's like a little bit bigger, is even better, but regardless, this place has some killer set dressing. The evening sun just like barely peeking in through the windows, giving just enough natural lighting, is wonderful. It's like when you're a kid being bored at like your grandparents' house, and suddenly you're watching the light from the sun poke in from the window blinds, and everything just feels peaceful. It might be a little drafty in here, but sitting on the edge and dangling your feet sounds like a great Thursday to me. With number 8, I'm gonna cheat just a little bit because I got the second and third areas of Upward, Payload. Here's where I'm going to cheat, because while the last entry was just one specific location on a map, this is going to be multiple spots within the same general area. I think the second and third points of Upward have this distinct air to them. As someone who grew up in a desert, I find these more arid maps to have a really nice charm to them. Though the shack isn't very good for building sentries, it would be a pretty great place to sit down and just watch the day go by. The smaller tunnel area under Red's first spawn is cool and mysterious, so naturally smoke in there would give a similar feeling. I really love that a lot of early TF2 maps took place in the middle of nowhere, and that's very apparent here. The only interesting scenery is way out of the map, where you can see some docks and a cargo ship. Yeah, there's nothing better than enjoying the scenery, having a smoke, and kicking back. No distractions, nothing to bother you, just you and the vibe. It's pretty relaxing. Number 7, I'm gonna keep cheating and list 2 specific areas. We got the 2nd and 3rd points of CP Steel. And say what you will about CP Steel, but it's a very pretty looking map. And not pretty like Sweian or Embargo are pretty, but it's pretty in that uniquely old-fashioned kind of way. Does that make sense? It has this similar Badlands aesthetic like Gully Wash and Badwater do, but I think the lighting and the layout just give it a leg up. Because just like Well, it's got that really lovely sunset feeling where day isn't quite gone, but it's not dark out yet. Like the sun is already gone, but there's still some light creeping from the edge of the horizon, but all the outside lights are on, giving you that nostalgic feeling of being a kid and seeing the street lamps come on and the signs on stores and the restaurants, all that stuff. Just the night is beginning to hum to life. It's that specific time of day. The 2nd and 3rd points bring about the same emotions you would exploring back alleys in your hometown, or wandering around like you go to school when it's closed and it's nighttime, stuff like that. There's plenty of places to be alone and soak in all the quiet. Maybe if you're lucky, you'll hear some distant birds or train cars go by. Number 6. Here we got Lumberyard, a map long forgotten by the general public, which is why I did the scary voice. It was added way back in 2008 for arena mode. You guys remember that shit? Valve doesn't. One of, if not the first Alpine-themed maps, Lumberyard was pretty unique for the time and certainly stands out visually. The lighting and the tone of this map gives me strong, homely feelings. It looks like it takes place around 11 a.m., which is my favorite time of day. I couldn't really explain why, but it's something about the positioning of the sun that makes the world just feel more nostalgic. You know, things feel warm and slow here. Time isn't moving when you're sitting here in the back by the tree stump. You've got shade and beautiful mountains to look at, and if you're lucky, you'll hear some birds singing, catch a warm breeze, or take in the scent of some freshly cut grass. And all the wood around here is bound to give that lovely, like, rustic smell, I guess is one way to describe it. But on the other side of the map, you got this lovely log bridge with some shacks overlooking the cliff, and I would love to sit on that log and stare down at the valley below, and then turn around and admire the stretched sand texture. Yeah, a quiet yard like this with the birds chirping and some warm sun on your face would make for an excellent afternoon. Number 5, Kong King. I don't think I have to tell anyone still watching this video that smoking in the middle of a bustling city at night is an otherworldly feeling. There is something magical about leaning over and taking in the whole city while you contemplate your own place in this world, dude, okay? Sitting on a bench next to the control point and taking in the intense neon and endless buildings that just surround you is bound to open some discussions about the world around you. I think the conversations you have while smoking are just as big of a contributor to the overall quality of the session, so I'm pretty attached to this area. Who hasn't gotten high and walked to the nearest liquor store for some treats? I mean, seriously, it's a universal feeling, okay? Wandering the alleys and the flank routes of this place is bound to bring in those exact same feelings. Just don't rip the bong too hard. You're gonna be needing that health back. Number 4, and this one is really difficult because I'm going with the Temple on Sweian. We're back to one specific area, folks. The reason why I think it's hard to place Sweian on number 4 is because I really do think it's one of the most beautiful places in the entire game. And catch me on another day, and shit, I might even declare this one number 1, okay? But honestly, I'm almost hesitant to smoke here. Like, if I do, I feel like I'll just desecrate the land around me and be branded a dirty stoner by all the ancient wise monks that came before me. But still, dude, hear me out. How can you beat that view? Can you imagine getting absolutely fucking blazed here and taking in the amazing valley at your feet, the sound of the waterfall rushing behind you, and the river underneath you? Dude, I'd even put the little islands on this list, because unless I'm explicitly going to smoke with my friends, you know, I kind of like to be a little isolated, but there's no feasible way to even get there or get back to this temple, like, from those islands, so the temple is the closest I'll get. I can just imagine sitting there, dangling your feet over the edge, and then laying back on the soft wood as the sunlight envelops you, and you're just kind of laying there like a warm lizard, and the sweet air from the cherry blossoms is going around in the wind, and dude, it'd probably feel like you were going to heaven. Now, what could possibly beat what I literally just said about going to heaven and the Sweian Temple, okay? Listen, if you haven't caught on to me by now, let me tell you something. I really like nature. I go on hikes. I regularly take walks through preserves and trails, and I just enjoy being around greenery even more than I enjoy smoking it. So with that in mind, how do you beat sitting underneath a giant pine tree? I have to imagine this is how people who live in California feel when they can go visit the big redwood trees. And I know there's probably regulations in place to prevent it, which, you know, is good for the environment and all that. Can you imagine being surrounded by giant trees and the sounds of the forest, man? Imagine how clean and crisp that air feels, how fresh the wind would feel on your face. I genuinely think sitting here under this tree and fucking smoking a doobie would be like a full physical and mental cleanse. You know those videos of people doing the dirty ass carpets and they clean them? That's what I'm thinking sitting and smoking here would do to your brain. Number 2, I'm going with the last point on Coal Pit. As much as I love being around nature, I actually have more love in my heart for autumn and winter. I love stacking layers and going outside, breathing in the cold air. Can you even visualize how goddamn cozy it would be to slap on a sweater or two and just chill out here? Sitting on top of the point and just taking in the thousands of stars, man. I feel like it would totally overwhelm you. Brisk night walks are already something I'm beginning to fondly miss as we rush into the spring season. And, you know, the air gets warmer at night, which always sucks ass, because I've never experienced snow in my life, so I can't even fathom how emotional I would feel being here. This is so corny, man, but gazing at the moon as you take a big hit, really soaking in the feelings, the rush of emotions and sheer love of life would captivate even the cruelest kind of person. Give me a bong, some purple Urkel, and I'll plop myself and most of our world leaders down here, and I guarantee you, brother, I'm getting you world peace achieved within the hour.
And now it's time for some honorable mentions.
We got the 2 fort balcony and courtyard, which are here primarily because they're just so damn iconic. Like, I'm pretty sure if there's anyone still fucking watching this video, when they clicked on it, one of the first things they probably thought of was the 2 fort balcony. Or back here in the courtyard. I'm sure it was one of those, given how iconic this map is, and I think it just proved my point. And yeah, I think smoking down in the intel room would also go hard as fuck. One more honorable mention, we got the waterfall on Sawmill, and as much as I have sang praises of the idea of smoking at night, logically you would think, wait, Waylon, wouldn't you also enjoy smoking while raining? And yeah, that is true, but having to get here in the rain while it's raining, and like, dude, where are you gonna sit? Are you gonna set up a chair on the little beach overlooking the waterfall? Are you gonna go in the cave? Like, you're gonna get wet, the joint's gonna get wet, you gotta think about that kind of stuff, man. The final honorable mention is this outside garage area on Borneo. I think sitting here smoking next to these 2 buildings gives off like you're at work and you're taking a smoke break. You know, it's that kind of feeling. You kind of get the benefit of Sawmill with the overcast sky, but it's not raining, so it's kind of the best of both worlds, if that makes any sense. We're down to the bottom of the bowl here, folks. We're fucking smoking ash and dirt if you're still here with me. I hope you're doing well. We got my number one smoke spot in Team Fortress 2 is the area behind the intel room on Double Cross. With everything I've spouted so far about smoking at night, smoking in nature, and generally just being outside, you might be surprised to learn my number one spot. It's not a wooded area or anywhere particularly pretty, but this small lot on Double Cross behind the intel room is my number one smoke spot in TF2. Hear me out. Let me tell you something. Double Cross is already my favorite capture the flag map, okay? It being at night really helps that a lot. I love nighttime maps, and I really, really wish we had more of them, but you might be wondering, why is this spot good enough to take the top spot after all of the bullshit that you've spouted so far? Do any of you have a special spot that you like to go? Maybe it's the side of your house. Maybe it's in your garage. Maybe it's a small lot at work that you like to take your break in. Maybe it's somewhere at work that you like to go take your break in. A spot at school that nobody else really goes. Somewhere that you just feel comfortable being, that you think that you can really be yourself. That's what I'm getting at here. Your special place. That is what this spot is for me. It's got just enough light from the outside to make me feel like I'm really somewhere. Why does it connect to the balcony? Like, what's the point? Not only is this place pretty, but it's also functional. It's uniquely pretty in its own way. And that's why it's my number one spot. I really love this place, and I hope this video has encouraged you to think about your favorite smoke spots in your favorite video games. Because hanging out with your friends, talking about the lamest shit, and coming up with your own ways to relax is what this wonderful day is all about. And I am gonna go back to celebrating it to the fullest. If there's anyone still left, man, thank you for watching very much. If you liked this video, dude, hit the like button, subscribe, write a comment. I really want to know what you thought if you're listening to me right now. Share this video with your friends so it could just be like a fun thing that you all do together every 420. And if you want more Waylon in your world, I recommend you subscribe to my second channel, Waylon Plus, where my brother and I play all kinds of video games and talk about all kinds of bullshit. Thank you all for watching, and if you disagreed with anything I said in this video, then up yours, asshole!